That story of how I came to work on Rumi has three strands to it. The first one happened in 1976 when the poet Robert Bly, who has a conference every June. It's called the Great Mother Conference. Joe Campbell used to come to it. Study of mythology and poetry, and a lot of attention to mysticism. He had been reading some translations by the Cambridge Islamicist A.J. Arbery. And he handed me a book of those translations, and he said these poems need to be released from their cages, by which he meant they need to be rephrased in more accessible American English. They were translated by scholars, and it was that scholarly translation ease that's not anywhere. It's not a poem, and it's not prose. It's not, it's something in between. But they were literal translations, and so I began working on those, not thinking ever of publishing them. And it was just a kind of a practice for me to go down to the Bluebird restaurant in downtown Athens, Georgia, and after I'd taught 3 classes a day, and rephrased those poems into what I hoped were free verse American poems, and being true, hopefully, to the imagery and the spiritual information coming through.